Hello and welcome to CNC World, broadcasting from North America and around the globe. I'm Xie He in Washington. Joining me today in our studio is Mr. Saruhan Hatipoglu, CEO of Business and Environment Risks Intelligence. Welcome to our show, sir.
Good afternoon.
So, Trump always says what he wants is to protect U.S. manufacturers. And as China proposed to impose higher tariffs on like automobiles and aircraft parts, do you think a trade war with China will really benefit the U.S. manufacturers?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not only U.S. manufacturers, the agriculture as well, but let's start with manufacturing. Let's start with this, this story that we've been hearing that manufacturing jobs in the United States are lost because of China's growth in manufacturing industry. There is a beautiful chart that if you look at it from 1980 to 2015, it shows manufacturing employment and manufacturing output in the United States. As we have seen manufacturing output increase steadily, we have seen employment plateau or go down. And this is going back to, as I mentioned, 1980 or so, starting from 1990, escalating. So this divergence cannot be, just by itself, be explained by trade issues, China's low-cost production, displacing American workers. The reason for that is automation. Look, Amazon had 14,000 or so robots in their warehouses in 2014. That number today is about 75,000. We are seeing more and more advanced manufacturing coming in, thereby replacing the workers in the United States. So to tie this to trade is not only economically not too logical, but also misleading to American people. To answer the second part of your question, absolutely it will have an impact on manufacturing because these are goods that are needed by the companies, intermediate goods, to produce a final product. That will also affect the consumers who will pay for these products because the prices are going to go up. The reason for that is intermediate inputs prices are going to go up, putting pressure on business margins. So both the industry as well as consumers could lose in a very big way because of these tariffs.
Exactly. As you have mentioned, not only just the manufacturing, but also the consumers. I also read a statement from the National Retail Federation that says, and I quote, "These tit-for-tat trade actions could make it harder for Americans across the country to afford everyday products and basic necessities." So who do you think will suffer the most from this trade tension?
Well, retail will. If you're asking me whether it's the U.S. or China, both countries will suffer. But in the United States, as far as the consumers are concerned, if the prices start going up, at a time when we're talking about inflation slowly creeping into the economy, we had a 9-year of uninterrupted growth in this country. Some were not too happy about it because it was too slow. But if inflation starts increasing, and also let's remember that we have a big budget deficit in this country that is going to be growing due to the tax cuts and infrastructure spending, that could lead to interest rate increases faster than anticipated. And all of these things together will put a lot of pressure on the U.S. consumers.
So what kind of moves do you think the two governments should take for the next step?
For the United States, less tweeting, more meeting. Like I mentioned, we have an impetuous president here in the United States. His team will need to remind him that negotiations with a country, in any country, let alone China, will need to be done on a table where teams are going to sit down and sort out their differences, not by tweets, not by impulsive policymaking.